We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And he's up past the 20 of the 22-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down. In motion, the tight end. And from the gun, here's a handoff to Charbonnet. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep for the Raiders is Trey Tucker. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. And a glance here at the veteran who will be leading them. Now in his 8th year in the NFL.
Every quarterback in the NFL has a little bit of his own signature style out there, but for this guy, he really plays the game in a different way. It's led to a couple double takes from us up here as we see him as something truly unique. It's not that he's just the strongest passer or the best athlete to ever play the position. He just has a certain way of seeing the action, and it allows him to make some special plays out there.
Here now, 2nd and 4. On the zone, ready to give to Genty. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Mendoza. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. DeMarcus Lawrence showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4. Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. And his throw here is incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Well, here's a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll look to throw it off play action. And a quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down.
For the field goal. A 45-yard attempt.
Gay's kick is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
To throw is Darnold. Smith and Jigba with the grab. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll make it 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was third down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to first down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a first down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here's 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Darnold. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
From the 50, it's Darnold. He's going to take another shot here. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. A play fake, and it's Darnold. That's down the field. He's got Arroyo. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
That's good for a Seahawks first down. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Here's Darnold. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's now 3rd.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Darnold. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And able to get this out to the 25. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Here's 2nd and 8. Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Derek Hall in there that time to get him to the turf.
Well, how about this? A fistful of sacks already. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. What an incredible start for this defense. If they keep this pace up, they could be looking at an all-time performance.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Off of play action, Darnold. He'll get that to Charbonnet. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it's 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. As Ike won the ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
That's good for a Seahawks first down.
That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
The throw right side here going to be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Out of the gun again to Charbonnet. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
He's brought down.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And the Seahawks on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered. A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field now that you've turned it over and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down. Now they lose it. Looking to put a drive together. To throw is Mendoza. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. DeMarcus Lawrence. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Mendoza. They'll get the tight end Bowers involved there.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Looking to throw. Mendoza. A short throw. That's hauled in by Mayer. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
It's a gain of 11.
His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
On 1st down, it's Genty. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll go again with Genty. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He'll try and do this himself. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
A run out of the gun with Genty. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was been the beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now 2nd and 5. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Pass to the left side where he's got Miller. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16.
That's another Raiders 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Up the middle, it's Genty. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. Mendoza. Pass complete right side to Bowers. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. A run straight ahead with Genty. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out 1st downs and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. On the handoff, it's Lowry. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Raiders have taken the lead. But just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now.
Seahawks 3.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Here's Darnold. They'll set up a screen to Charbonnet. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
And now a handoff to Charbonnet. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
That'll be caught. It's caught. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 25 yards that time.
Seahawks, first down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
But certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits. and know what they can get away with, and there's a completion right there.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Darnold. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Darnold from the gun. Well, that'll be caught by Cup. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing again is Darnold. He finds Smith and Jigba. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Gets this complete to Shaheed. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Now they'll send Cup in motion right. Back to throw, Darnold. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece.
That ties the game at 10.
That time a 9-play drive. And it was capped off by a Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown catch. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we are deadlocked at the break here, and the EA Sports Halftime Report starts now. Here's Scott Hansen.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen here with an abridged version of the halftime report. Both offenses still trying to find their way. Tight competitive game, though, as we are tied at the half. To find out who will come out on top, let's rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Oh, now how about this return? And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 5. Here's a quick throw caught out wide. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
A give out of the gun to Genty. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Now Mendoza from the gun on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down. It's a gain of 10.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10, we're all knotted up at 10, but it appears that may change soon. Only question is, will they have to settle for 3? Short throw caught by Bowers. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Back to throw again. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. They don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Oh, he shoots past him. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
64 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Again, it's Charbonnet. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
2nd down and 8. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Max Crosby able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even insult the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is the absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And that will make this a 4-point game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by a Jackson Smith-Njigba touchdown catch. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Genty. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. They'll get this out to Genty. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there on the catch and run. 31 yards.
Las Vegas first down. First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Good work there, holding them out on first down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Second and goal from the 1. He'll try again. And this time he will get in. Touchdown Raiders. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28. Motion left, Cup. To throw is Darnold. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Now it's Darnold. Smith and Jigba with the ground. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. On the give, here's Charbonnet. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10.
Well, they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
There's Charbonnet once again. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 83 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Darnold now to throw. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Then their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. And he comes back with one complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Here's Darnold. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary, partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
On for the field goal, a 36-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. So with less than a minute gone by here in this fourth quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great fourth quarter.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Raiders now set to get the football back. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. Oh, that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. $13 yards remaining on 2nd down. Off the play fake. Mendoza. Got a man, and he hits it in stride. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
For a Las Vegas 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That would have been a nice one to hit on in a tie game. You start to think that one big play, maybe the next big play, could turn out to be the game winner. They took the big shot, but it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. That one complete to Naylor. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll go with the keeper. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
2nd and 9 now. That's complete. Genty out of the backfield. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll try to run for it with Genty. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. The Seahawks offense has Sam Darnold headed back out there. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. We'll get that to Charbonnet. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
They certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Play action. It's Darnold. That'll be caught. It's caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
1st and 10.
This is all about finding the open space in the middle of the field. How do you do that? One way is through play action. That's going to freeze those linebackers for just a split second, and sometimes that's all you need. They run a deep in route behind them, and it works to perfection.
Off of play action, Darnold. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it here with Charbonnet. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 24-yard line. A gain of 22.
That's another Seahawks first down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
Here's Charbonnet. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. He finds Smith and Jigba. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. And from the gun, here's a handoff to Charbonnet. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on now comes the kicker. It's Jason Myers. This to break our fourth quarter tie. Myers' kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So now London down 23-20, 2:24 to go. They'll have 2 timeouts and, of course, also the 2-minute warning as they go to work on first down. Open man is Tucker. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 37-yard line.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Derek Hall in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
No tougher place to be in a spot like this than Seattle. Here's 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Well, the defense circling now, 4th down and 7. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
Oh, man. They are living on the razor's edge. If this is incomplete, this game's over. Instead, it's a huge pickup. And I think the win percentage calculator is going to have to work overtime here because this game has really had some swings.
And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partnering and watching them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself,
but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On the give, Genty. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Second down, goal to go. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now. This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. And with 4 seconds remaining, they will call the timeout. So just enough of a cushion there to bring on the field goal unit and try to send this one to the extra session. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. 4 seconds to go. This would send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away. This is 1st and 10.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Here's Darnold. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the game will continue for at least one more play.
Cannot finish a game on a defensive penalty. That's why they get one more untimed attempt.
And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And they'll be celebrating in Pioneer Square tonight. The Seahawks have won the game. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because, remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.